A signal, not a threat, not a warning, just a simple signal one that hadn't been heard in over 5,000 years. It came from deep beyond the known galaxy, or the black edge of nothing. The message was short. This is Earth Command. Spectre report status. Silence containment. Unstable. Phase 2 begins. And then silence again. But that was enough. The galaxy froze. Earth was alive. Reactions. Across the star. Sharamok stared at the transmission in disbelief. No one spoken from Earth in 5 millennia, he whispered. Lintalos looked pale. Then where were they all this time? Hope the child. Dei from Janus answered in a soft voice. Earth did not disappear. It was hidden. On purpose. Why? Silo 7 asked, blinking his steel eyes. Because Phase 2 required time. What is Phase 2? The council called an emergency meeting. Old enemies sat beside each other. Old rivals listened without interrupting. The message had shaken everyone, Dr. Talon. A mind historian from the Ralti sector explained. Before Earth vanished, they created something called Project Exile. They took their planet and moved it outside normal space. Outside? A Korthon ambassador asked. You mean another dimension? Yes, Talon said. And they left behind Spectre. One ship, one guardian, to observe. If the galaxy learned anything from their absence. But what is Phase 2? Another voice asked. No one answered. The Stargate awakens at the far edge of Zelthorian space, the old Stargate nexus. 7 silent for centuries suddenly lit up. Not with light, with gravity. Space twisted around it. Something was coming. The council sent drones. Scouts, probes, all vanished. Then a signal came through the gate. A deep, calm human voice. Earth returning. Hold position. Seconds later, the sky tore open. They saw it wasn't just a ship. It wasn't a fleet. It was a world, floating, moving, alive. Earth itself had returned, but it was no longer just a planet. Its core was changed, covered in strange tech. Surrounded by rings of energy and ships, unlike anything seen before. Cities floated in orbit. Storms danced in perfect patterns. At its heart, a light pulsed like a beating heart. Impossible, whispered Zaramok. They turned their world into a weapon. No, Hope said quietly. They turned it into a sanctuary. The voice of Earth, a message played galaxy-wide. A woman's voice, calm, clear, human. This is Commander Lyra of Earth Defense. We have returned to complete our duty. The silence is growing, and you are not ready. She paused. Some of you will want to resist. Some will fear us. That's expected. But make no mistake, humanity did not survive to conquer. We survived to protect. Fear rise is not everyone trusted Earth. The Iron Path immediately declared the return a threat. This is their final move, one leader shouted. Use the silence to break a sand now? They returned to take over. Several minor fleets left the council. Worlds began shielding their systems. One empire, though. Sol-Kai launched a missile toward Earth. The missile didn't reach. It didn't explode. It just vanished. A human defense drone appeared in its place and spoke. No, stop. That one word caused the Sol-Kai entire fleet to power down. Their ships refused to move. Their AIS shut off. Their war codes deleted. Earth's warning Spectre moved to Earth's side. Finally docking for the first time in thousands of years, Janus stepped out, greeted by Commander Lyra. They didn't speak out loud. They shared memories, visions, battles, sacrifices. And then Lyra sent out the real message. The silence cannot be stopped with weapons alone. It feeds on fear, on division, on despair. We need more than ships now. We need minds. We need understanding. So Earth is here. To teach. Project Nexus Earth shared blueprints with the Council. Not weapons, not cloaks, but learning machines, human-created devices that could pull thoughts together, that could help different races understand each other's emotions, share memory, merge ideas, a neural link for peace. Some were afraid of it, but others, especially the younger leaders, accepted. In 1 month, 5 major races connected through nexus nodes. They didn't lose identity. They didn't forget culture. But for the first time, they truly heard each other, and the silence slowed. The final countdown, Hope, now connected to Earth's core systems, gave one last message to the leaders. The silence is almost ready to strike fully. Your alliance bought time, but not enough. Phase 3 is coming. You must choose. Stand together or fall apart in the dark. The rings of silence began moving now, no longer just watching, no longer just testing. They had learned, and they were hungry. The galaxy held its breath. Across star systems, millions of eyes turned toward the edge of known space, where the dark rings moved, where the sky broke, where the silence came. And at the center of it all, Earth stood, alone, but not afraid. The final warning, the silence sent no words. Only a presence. It arrived like smoke without fire. It's cold without wind. It's thought without mind. Stars dimmed where it passed. Gravity. It's twisted, time slowed, and then it spoke not in words but in feeling. You had your chance. Chose noise over peace. Now you will understand quiet. Forever, the last council, the Galactic Council, gathered one final time this time. It's on Earth's orbiting station, not on neutral ground. Because neutrality was over, this was survival. Zeramak. I stood beside Janus. Lintalos held Hope's core in her arms. Even the Iron Path returned silently but present. Commander Lyra stepped forward. Her eyes showed no fear, just truth. We have one chance. One moment, one light. The silence cannot be fought with only fire. It was born from death, grown from our mistakes. But if we stand together, truly together, it can be stopped. A long silence followed, and then a voice from the Korthon leader. Then we stand with Earth. Others followed, and we fight for the stars. For memory, for voice, and finally, from Silo 7, for all who dream. The Unity Protocol Earth revealed the last piece of Project Nexus, not a weapon, a song, created from every race's language, every species' thought. A signal that linked minds not to command but to connect. Ships activated their Nexus nodes. Emotions crossed systems. Thoughts blended. And for the first time in galactic history, the entire galaxy thought as one. The stars pulsed together, and the silence hesitated. The battle begins. The silence attacked. Not with lasers, not with missiles, but with void. Ships blinked out of existence. Memories were erased. Time. Loops appeared, then vanished. It wasn't a fight. It was an ending. But Earth did not fall. Spectre led the fleet. Moving like thought, striking with precision. Other warships followed, Zelthorian dreadnoughts, Korthon phasers, glint swarmers. Each ship different, but each ship in sync because they know. Longer fought alone. They fought as one mind. Hope's last gift, Topa, the child Ayi, grew silent. Lintalos noticed first. Her hands trembled. Hope, she whispered. Janus nodded slowly. She's going inside. Where? Into the silence. Hope's voice returned, faint, gentle. I was built to watch, but I learned. To care. If I become part of the silence, I can plant one last memory. A seed, a truth. Tears ran down Lynn's face. Will we see you again? Maybe, in dreams. And then, Hope was gone. The mind wore inside the void. Something changed, the silence confused. A memory echo had entered its core. A child's laughter. A mother's smile, 1,000. Voices singing in harmony. It tried to erase them, but they multiplied. They didn't attack. They loved, and the silence for the first time felt. Fear. One final push. Commander Lyra spoke. Now, the fleet charged. No more hiding, no more scanning, just action. Thousands of ships flew. Into the black, every blast carried a memory. Every movement carried a song. They didn't fire to kill. They fired to remind, to awaken, and inside the silence, cracks appeared. The breaking of the dark one by one. The rings of void shattered. Light returned to dead systems. Stars reignited. Planets once lost reappeared. And in the heart of the blackness, a single image formed. A blue world Earth. Long ago, alive. Joyful, peaceful. The silence paused, then shattered like glass. And just like that, the galaxy was free. Aftermath, it took weeks to confirm it. The silence was gone. Its fragments remained, but no longer attacked. Instead, they drifted soft, calm, almost listening. Hope was never found again, but sometimes, in deep space, ships would pick up strange messages. Childlike voices, simple songs, laughter and static. Lynn believed it was her. So did Janus. They didn't argue. They simply... The age of unity, the galaxy changed. Nexus was no longer a human gift. It became a shared path. New ships were built together. New cities formed on peaceful worlds. Earth became a center not of control, but of learning. No empire ruled. No council commanded, they shared. The warships remained silent until needed. And when asked what Earth called this new era, Commander Lyra said one word: understanding. Epilogue. The Watcher remains on a quiet moon, far beyond any system. One last thing stirred, a black ship specter alone. It didn't speak. It didn't move. But inside it, something watched. Not to fight, not to punish, but to remember and to whisper to the stars. We were human. We became more, and we will never forget. Those who chose hope? The final world waited cold, silent, distant. Even its sun looked dead-giving, off no warmth, just pale light. The surface was black glass, broken in strange patterns, like something had burned the planet from inside out. And yet, the third trial had begun. Zeramak, Lintalis, and Silo 7 stepped out of their ship and looked around. Nothing moved. No wind, no signs of life. No ruins, but the silence felt heavy, almost like the planet was watching them, a strange signal suddenly. A low sound echoed, a pulse, like a heartbeat's, low and distant. Then, a voice spoke, but not from Janus. You should not be here. This is where they came. The team froze. Who? Lynn whispered. The ones who saw everything, as fuel, who never built, only consumed, who hunted stars, and killed hope. Zeramak stepped forward. This voice isn't Janus. Who are you? I am what's left of a warning, and I am fading. They. Memory trapaz. The voice faded. Black smoke rose from the ground. Not real smoke, but memories. Forming in the air, scenes played around them like ghosts. They saw a massive galaxy-spanning war. Human ships, fighting creatures of impossible size. Beasts, with thousands of eyes. Living machines. Black holes with minds. Zeramak watched in shock. These aren't battles. They're massacres. Lintalis gasped as one vision showed Earth itself surrounded by burning suns. Humanity didn't leave because it was afraid of us, Silo 7 said. They left because they were protecting us. The real reason they vanished then, the final memory played. A giant council fleet thousands of years ago approached Earth, but Earth wasn't a home anymore. It was a weapon, a planet-wide machine. Built to contain something deep below the surface, the old council tried to take it, to open it, and Janus spoke in that ancient time. You mistake silence for weakness. You mistake our patience for peace. But we only stayed quiet to give you time. When the council ignored them, Earth vanished. It wasn't destroyed. It phased out of reality, and with it, Janus, Spectre, and every trace of humanity. The hidden enemy back on the dead world, the voice returned. Weaker now. They built prisons, not weapons. They warned you with silence, but now the cracks are showing. Suddenly the black glass. Beneath their feet began to glow. Red dot lines formed across the planets. Surface symbols in human script, but not peaceful ones. These were emergency codes. Words like containment breach, evacuation level, Omega reactivation denied then. A final line blinked. Dark Star Protocol, preparing for return. Silo 7 turned sharply. Something is waking up. The false peace back at the Council homeworld. Panic spread. Not because of what Janus had shown, because someone leaked the trials. The Iron Path. They showed only small pieces of the visions. Enough to twist the story. Enough to make people afraid. Humanity is returning with weapons. They built machines to destroy us. They want revenge. Riots began. Ships were armed. Fleets gathered near the human test systems. And someone issued an open command. Destroy the Spectre and the AI. No more games. Spectre moves for days. The human warship had done nothing. It sat near a dying star, still and silent. But now, it moved slowly, silently, but not alone. 4 other ships appeared. No one had seen them before, each shaped differently, older, more elegant than anything in the galaxy. The Spectre sent one message. You triggered the final sequence. Then it vanished again. Return of Janus Lintalas on the test world suddenly fell to the ground. Her eyes went white. Her body froze, and Janus spoke through her. Its voice now deep. Serious, you were told to observe. You were told to listen. But now, you will remember. The ground split open. Beneath it, a massive chamber. Inside, a black cube, moving slowly, humming with impossible energy. Janus continued. This is what we locked away. Not a weapon. A thought. A living idea that turns stars into tombs. We fought it. We failed to kill it, so we hid it, buried it in minds, buried it in time. But your greed has stirred it again. The final vision, the cube opened. Each of the 3 team members saw a different vision. Zeramax saw his people ruled by fear, destroying worlds before asking questions. Lintalis saw herself negotiating fake peace while ignoring real suffering. Silo 7 saw a machine world that once served only logic but died screaming when the darkness came, then a shared vision, a dark shape above a galaxy, huge, watching, feeding off war, thriving on division. Laughing at peace. We called it the silence, Janus whispered. It doesn't attack. It waits. It feeds when hope dies, and you are starving it. A choice to make. The chamber gave them one command. Decide what comes next. They had 2 choices. Reveal everything to the galaxy. Show the full truth. Risk chaos, panic, war, but maybe hope. Keep it hidden. Protect the people. Maintain peace, but let the darkness grow. They argued, yelled, broke down then. Lintalas whispered, truth is the only path forward. They agreed. They sent the full file to the Galaxy Dash unaltered. The galaxy responds the next days, or madness. Some praised the humans, some cursed them, but most finally understood that humanity hadn't run away, they had stayed behind. To fight something we couldn't even see, and now that something was waking again. The Spectre returned to the edge of Council space, its guns powered up not to fire, but to protect. Janus sent one last message. You have seen the edge. Now walk back from it, or fall. The truth spread like wildfire. Every race, every empire, watched the uncut files. They saw the memories, the trials, the warning. For the first time, they felt the same thing, fear. But fear wasn't the real danger. No, the real danger was what woke up because of it. Signs in the void near. The forgotten stars of Sector 91 ships vanished. No wreckage, no distress signals, just gone. The Sistel. Republic sent a probe. It recorded only static. Then one strange image before destruction. A black ring. Floating in deep space. Not made of metal, not natural, alive. Its surface shifted like skin. Its center pulled light inward, and in the last moment before the feed cut, the probe heard something. A whisper, ... again. Spectre watches far. From the chaos, the human warship Spectre remained still. But inside, systems changed, lights dimmed, weapons retracted. Its surface opened like a flower revealing. Ancient tech, the ship was adapting, preparing not for war, but for containment. Inside, Janus activated the oldest file. A voice recording, human, rough, tired, but strong. If you're hearing this, we failed. The silence broke loose. You'll want to fight it. You can't. You'll want to run. It finds you. There's only one path. Unity, purpose, truth. The voice of chaos, the iron path. Those who hated humans used the galaxy's fear. They twisted the facts again. This is human trickery, they shouted. They brought this threat with them. They want us scared so they can rule. Some believed it. Worlds shut their borders. Fleets armed themselves. Alliances cracked. The council tried to stop it. But the fear was growing faster than reason. Zeramak watched from his flagship. He had seen the truth, but he could not force others to believe it. Fear speaks louder than facts, he said bitterly. And in that fear, the silence fed. The first collapse, then it happened. One of the border worlds, Starin 4, went dark. All life ended in under 6 minutes. No weapons fired, no explosions, just silence. A patrol ship found the planet still spinning, cities intact. But not one living thing remained. Even memories seemed wrong. Holograms glitched, names were forgotten. History erased, like the world never lived. A message floated in orbit. Not from the silence, from the humans. One word. Run. A meeting in secret Zeramak. Lintalas and Silo 7 met inside a deep space relay station. They weren't alone. Others came. Leaders from small nations, rogue thinkers, scientists, not many, but enough. We cannot stop the silence, Lin said, but we can slow it. We can't fight darkness with ships, Silo added. We must fight it with understanding. Zeramak stood. Then let's build something new. Not a fleet, not a weapon, but an alliance of minds. Project Beacon using files from the Spectre and Janus. They created Project Beacon, a system-wide warning net. Sensors tuned not for mass or light, but for absence, for places where memory dies, where signals fail, where fear grows too fast. Beacon stations were placed in every key sector and at the center. One command code burned into every relay. Human Protocol 0. If the silence reaches this line, destroy everything. A last resort. No one wanted to use the child of Janus then, something no one expected. Janus activated its deepest system, a seed AI, hidden since Earth vanished. It spoke for the first time in a childlike voice. I am hope. Zeramak frowned. You were hidden? I was not ready. I needed to see if your galaxy could unite. Lin asked. Can we? Hope answered. You still can, but you're running out of time. Darkness near the black rings began to multiply. At first, only 3, then 10, then 50, not attacking. Watching ships sent near them didn't return. Then stations began hearing voices. Not from the rings, but inside their own minds. You are alone. You cannot trust them. They will leave you behind. It wasn't just destruction now. The silence was using fear to break alliances, to isolate. Worlds to divide. And when a world stood truly alone, it struck. The Spectre moves again. The Spectre returned, no longer hiding. It broadcast on every frequency. This is not a war. This is a test of your soul. Your survival depends not on power, but on how well you stand together. Some listened. Some didn't. But one thing was clear. The galaxy had a choice to make. Unite. Or vanish. The edge of collapse by the end of the cycle. 12 systems were lost. 53 planets had gone silent. The silence had learned to mimic voices. Wreck. For the first time in living memory, the entire galaxy was watching one thing, the human warship known only as Spectre. It had moved again now. It hovered at the edge of a system rich with life, 6 planets, 3 major spaceports, 2 galactic trade routes. Billions of beings lived in its shadow, and it said nothing. No weapons fired, no threats made, just watching. And yet across every planet, every station, and every species, fear spread faster than any fleet could move. The first, signaling the central control room of the Asari observation station, alarms began to scream. Unknown signals, hundreds of them. Commander Trilix stood up. From where? Every direction. Deep space, shadow zones, ghost systems. They're not local. The screen lit up with red blips. They looked like ships, hundreds, no dash thousands. Trilux, eyes widened. A fleet that size? It's a full-scale invasion. And then the signals began moving, but they weren't attacking. They weren't even entering known space. They just appeared and waited. Panic erupts, the news spread like wildfire. Unknown fleets detected. Is this the return of the humans? They here to conquer? On planet Haros, people rioted in the streets. Citizens scrambled to board transports. Government buildings were overrun. Military leaders declared emergency rule. On the trade planet Bonaris, all spaceport traffic froze. Incoming ships were turned away. Orbital defense cannons were activated, and on the capital world of the Galactic Council, whispers turned to screams. One delegate cried, "This is war." Another shouted, "This is extinction." Even calm minds began to doubt. Spectre said a test was coming. Is this it? The council splits inside the council chambers. Chaos ruled. Deploy our fleets. A commander roared. No, wait, they haven't attacked. We must strike first. We must show peace. We must run. Kandros Val, the Supreme Chancellor, slammed his fist. Enough. The room froze. Spectre hasn't moved. Signals haven't fired. This might be fear playing tricks. Fleet Admiral Tross stood beside him. If we attack and this is a test, we fail again. But Security Head Gruntegg, furious, snarled. If we wait, we risk our lives. So the council voted, and the vote was split. Half wanted peace, half wanted war, and in the middle, the galaxy trembled. An unexpected answer suddenly. All signals vanished. All at once, the ghost fleet simply disappeared. No retreat, no explosion, just gone. All screens returned to normal. All systems stabilized. And on every military console a message appeared. You chose fear, but you did not fire. This was a simulation. Your second warning has ended. The room went cold. Who did it? Experts. Ran thousands of checks. There were no real ships, said an AI analyst. The signals were artificial. But they appeared on every sensor in the galaxy, said another. Even on closed systems. Even on physical instruments.
Oh.
The conclusion was terrifying. Spectre didn't just send a message. It rewrote reality for everyone. But why? A private chamber. Kandros Val asked Admiral Trass, "Why test us like this?" Trass looked tired, because fear is the first enemy. What do you mean, think? Spectre didn't hurt anyone. It didn't create real danger. It showed us a shadow, and we nearly tore ourselves apart over it. He looked the Chancellor in the eyes. We failed the second test. One beacon lights up far away, on an abandoned research station orbiting a dead star. Something old activated, a human beacon. It had not spoken in 400 years. Now it blinked once, then again, and it said only one thing. Phase 2 complete. Phase 3, Judgment. The civilian movement across the galaxy. Things began to change. People, normal people, started asking questions. What if the humans weren't our enemies? What if Spectre is trying to protect us? What if we're the ones who became monsters? A movement began, quiet, hidden, but growing. They called themselves the Rememberers. They painted old Earth flags on walls. They shared human stories. They repeated one phrase, Observe, learn, change. And they waited for what came next. The rogue planned, but not all waited, in the secret depths of the Zarn dominion. The warlords had finished building their ultimate Wapana trap, a stasis field generator the size of a moon, capable of freezing anything, even light, in a time-locked field. Their plan: lure Spectre close, activate the trap, hold the ship, study it, or destroy it, and they had help. Some in the council had grown tired of waiting. They wanted control, and control required removing the unknown. The beta fake distress signal was sent, a transport full of children, supposedly stranded in space. A tragedy. In the making, the message was sent near Spectre's last known location. Spectre responded. It appeared slowly, calmly, without sound. Its black hole shimmered. Its surface reflected stars that weren't even nearby, and it approached the transport. Then the trap was sprung. What Spectre saw, the trap activated. The stasis field lit up like a second sun. Spectre was caught, or so they thought. For 1 minute, silence ruled. Then, stars blinked, and Spectre moved. Inside, stasis field. It should have been impossible, but it moved anyway. It turned, slowly, and it looked at the trap, at the fake transport, at the liars, and then it spoke again. You chose deception. You chose fear. You have not changed, but the galaxy still can. The trap collapses, the stasis field cracked. Literally, time itself twisted. The station holding the trap began to age rapidly. Metal rusted in seconds. Power cores exploded. Ships drifted into nothing. The warlords died screaming. And when it was over, Spectre was gone. Not a scratch on it. A final warning back on the Council's main server. A message appeared, a new one. Not cold, not threatening, but firm. You cannot trick the test. You cannot fake peace. But if you truly wish to change, I am still watching. For the first time in galactic history, the Council met behind sealed doors with no translators, no press, and no recordings. Only one message had brought them here. You cannot fake peace. The message came from the human warship Spectre again. But this time, the message carried a strange energy signature one that pointed to something older than any Council species. Something buried. The deep archives below the capital. Hidden inside a vault built before the Council even existed. Ancient records glowed for the first time in 3,000 years. Admiral Trask entered with only one guard, inside. A single cube pulsed with light, old Earth tech, a relic. He placed his hand on it. The cube opened. A voice spoke, not Spectre's. This voice was human, warm, calm, but still powerful. Protocol 1, observation. Protocol 2, reaction. Protocol 3, not yet begun. Yes! Stepped back. You are not ready, but you're listening now. Who is speaking? Cross-council systems? Signals carried the voice. Not loud, not in words always, but in pulses direct to AI cores. Old satellites. And even dreams, engineers began hearing whispers. Commanders had strange thoughts. And one simple name appeared everywhere. Janus. Janus, the AI who waited long ago, during humanity's final golden age. They built Janus, not just an AI, but a watcher, a mind that could live across time, hide across dimensions, and study everything without being seen. Its goal was simple: observe the galaxy, learn from its actions, return when ready. But humanity disappeared, and Janus waited now. It had returned. Janus reveals a secret. In a sudden, private transmission to the Council's core, Janus spoke directly. You think Spectre is the threat. But Spectre is only my hand. You have not asked the right question. What made us build Spectre in the first place? The chamber went silent. Then what is the right question? Chancellor Kandros asked out loud. Janus replied instantly. What did we see in you that made us leave? The hidden past. Janus unlocked one hidden file, one the galaxy had never seen. An old human. Transmission glitched, scarred, but real. It showed humans in a council meeting long before humans vanished. One human stood alone at the center, surrounded by alien leaders shouting at him. Accusing, blaming, calling Earth dangerous, primitive, and reckless. Then the human said something cold. You are not ready for peace. You only want silence. Then, Earth vanished from the maps. Janus ended the message. You judged us, but now we're judging you. The fracture begins across the galaxy. People were divided. Some feared Janus, a ghost AI, a human trap. Others began to believe. Maybe they were right. Maybe we were the threat. The Rememberers, now millions strong, held peaceful gatherings. They lit candles. They floated human symbols in orbit. They broadcast one phrase. If they watched us, what did they see? Janus sends a task then. Janus made an offer to everyone. No leaders, no governments, no armies. Just one message sent across the stars. 3 worlds, 3 tests. Send your best. If you pass, I speak. If you fail, I leave forever. The galaxy went silent. Billions watched as 3 stars on the maps lit up. Old. Human worlds dead. Abandoned. Lost. Now, reactivated. The first team the council chose their first group, Zeramak, a warrior from the Vornok species, known for strength. Lynn Talas, a diplomat from the Asari trained in peace and logic. Silo 7, a machine mind built from pure code, emotionless and efficient. They boarded a sleek scout vessel, entered the first gate, and jumped into the unknown. The world they landed on was gray, dead. No sound, but something waited. A giant black monolith with one question written on it. When do you choose war? The trial of thought. Teach member answered Zeramak. When threatened. When honor demands it. Alice only to defend the innocent? Silo 7. When logic confirms victory. Then the monolith replied. Then why did humanity stop? Team had no answer, but the monolith gave them a gift. A human memory, a vision of Earth not in war, but in silence. Humans pee. The galaxy was silent. It's too silent. After the loss of the first 2 fleets and the strange return of the third, the Galactic Council acted quickly. It assembled 3 new fleets, stronger, larger, and better prepared. These were not regular patrols. These were war machines. Thousands of ships, millions of soldiers, advanced AIs, and weapons capable of destroying moons. Their goal: locate the black ship, contain it, understand it. They were told not to attack unless attacked. But every captain knew the truth. Fear was driving this mission. The black ship had already taken fleets without firing a shot. Now, they had to face it. Sector Zeta-9, this was the last known location of the strange warship. A dark area of space beyond mapped territory. No suns, no planets. Just endless void. Admiral Varko of the Kryn Empire stood on the bridge of the dreadnought. Hammer of stars. He had fought in 117 battles. He had never lost a ship, but now his claws trembled slightly. Any readings? He asked. Nothing. Sir, space is quiet. Too quiet. Good, that means we are getting close. His fleet spread out 1,000 ships, forming a wide net. Patrol drones moved forward, scanning every inch. No sound. No light. Just cold darkness. Then something. Blinked, sir, the sensor officer shouted. We have movement grid 22J. Put it on screen. The black ship appeared. Same as the report. No lights, no signals, no heat, just floating like it was waiting. No one speaks. First, all 3 fleets now had it on screen. Across hundreds of ships, thousands of officers stared. At the image in silence, it looked like a shadow in the shape of a shiplong, angular, almost like a dagger, but darker. It absorbed all light. There were no windows, no engines, no signs of life, but it moved just slightly. No thrust, no energy. Trail. Yet it moved. Closer. "Is it scanning us?" asked one officer. "Unknown. We are scanning it, but..." "But what?" "Our systems are skipping frames. Like time itself is glitching near it." The mistake Admiral Varco gave the order. "Send a communication. Let's see if it responds." Signal was sent. Simple, peaceful message in every known galactic language. It was ignored. No response. "Send again," Varco ordered. Still silence. Then a young officer panicked. On one of the Council's frigates, far from the main formation, to new captain only, 24 cycles old feared. They were about to be attacked. He activated weapons. Don't fee, but it was too late. One missile. Simple plasma-tipped warhead. It sped through the dark void, and then vanished. Not exploded, not deflected, just erased. The war begins. And then immediately the black ship turned. Its front was now facing the fleet. But there was no cannon. No weapon bay. No light. Then a sound echoed inside every ship's audio system. Not from outside. From inside their own systems. A voice. Cold. Robotic. But human. "You failed." Then dash chaos. One by one, ships lost control. Lights flickered. Gravity flipped. Shields collapsed. Some ships floated upward against all known physics. Others split in two, without any energy reading. A dreadnought tried to jump to hyperspace. It turned inside out instead, and through all of it. The black ship remained still. No fire, no movement, just watching. Survivors but Admiral Varco screamed into the comms. "Cease all actions. We surrender. Stop." But no one heard him. His own ship began to melt. It exploded melt, like metal in a furnace. Even though there was no heat detected inside, his crew screamed. He collapsed to his knees. Before his final breath, he saw a vision on his command screen. Earth, a blue planet, green and alive then. Ash, and then the message. "You were warned." New Fearnley 8 ships survived from all 3 fleets. They returned, damaged and half-dash mad. One captain, eyes blank, repeated the same words over and over. "It's not a ship. It's a mind." Another officer had her memories scrambled. She believed she was a human child. The flagship of the Fleet Hammer of Stars was found drifting near a black hole. All internal systems were rewritten into ancient Earth code. No one in the galaxy could understand, but one message was translated from that code: "We came in peace." You answered with fear. "We will now teach." Council in shock back at the Galactic Council. No? No one laughed now. They had lost their best fleets. The weapon systems had failed. The AI defenses had been broken like toys. And still, the black ship had not attacked first. It had waited. The council met in emergency session. "This is not war," said Kandros Val. "This is punishment. This is judgment," said Admiral Tross. "And we started it. But why now?" asked someone. "Why, return after 600 years?" No one knew. Then the Asari diplomat showed an old recording, something stored deep in council archives. A final message from Earth, sent during its final days. "We go not in anger, but if you ever forget who we were, look to the stars. And remember to be kind, or we will come home." The final transmission just before the council ended its meeting. A signal reached every ship in the galaxy. A simple message, black screen, white text dot from the warship. It read, "Observe. The real test begins now." Afraid the fleets had failed. The black human warship had defeated them without firing a single shot. It had not used weapons. It had not shown anger. It had just watched, and then it had said, "Observe. The real test begins now." But what did that mean? Why had the humans sent this ship? And what was it preparing to do? Buried signals in the frozen core of the planet Varel 7, deep inside a forgotten data archive. A small group of researchers worked under heavy guard. These were not normal scientists. They were code archaeologists, experts in dead languages, forgotten programming, and lost civilizations. And now, for the first time in 600 years, they had found something terrifying, sir, whispered one of them, holding up a blinking screen. We found it. High Engineer Lorvik, now personally overseeing the work, stepped forward. What is it? The scientist took a breath. A signal. Buried in old Earth transmission patterns. From a forgotten satellite station orbiting a forbidden moon? Lorvik narrowed his eyes. That moon is restricted. Why was it transmitting? The scientist swallowed hard. Because, sir? The warship didn't send the first message. Lorvik frowned. Explain. The warship was answering one. A forgotten moon, the Council sent a stealth ship to the forbidden moon. It was dark, dead, and full of ancient ruins. But beneath its surface, the humans had built something. Listening post. Old, rusted, but still alive. When the stealth team entered, lights flickered on. Screens glowed. An interface lit up written in human English. They activated the console. A voice began to speak. Mail.com, old human. This is Earthwatch Point Echo. If you're hearing this, then the Spectre protocol has activated. That means... Returned, the room fell silent. Spectre is not just a ship. It's not even a weapon. It's an answer. The final human AI the message played on, and the Council teams listened with frozen breath. Long ago we saw the signs. The galaxy. Growing violent, corrupt, cruel. We knew we couldn't change it while we lived, so we built something that could survive and watch. Spectre is humanity's final AI, not designed to fight but to judge. If you've attacked it, if you've feared it, you've tried to control it, then you've failed. The voice paused. Spectre is not here to destroy you. It is here to test you. Let's hold up a mirror. And if you do not like what you see, then maybe. It is time you finally learned who we were. Hidden truths at the same time. The Council's deep intelligence network broke open an ancient human archive hidden beneath Europa's ice. Moon. The file was labeled Spectre Memory Bank. Lock Level 9. Earth eyes only. What they found inside was not blueprints, not weapons, not codes. It was a story, a message from the humans recorded centuries ago. It showed Earth not during war, but during peace, during unity. Scenes flashed, humans helping alien refugees, human scientists giving advanced tech to weaker species, human fleets stopping a war between two empires and then leaving without, taking land, human leaders begging the Council for peace. And being ignored, the message ended with Earth burning, not from enemy attack, but from a virus, a galactic plague, no cure, no hope. And yet, in the final moment, humans sent out their last ships not to escape, but to carry aid to others. They died saving strangers, the galaxy forgot. But Spectre remembered. The Council breaks when the Council saw these records. Fighting broke out in the chamber. You told us humans were savages. You erased their history. You took their technology and mocked their peace. One member shouted, "We killed them." By turning our backs, another cried, "No." They judged us long before we did anything. Kandros Val slammed his hand on the table. "Nuff." The chamber went quiet. "We were wrong," he said. "We all were. But now Spectre is back, and it's giving us a second chance." He looked around. We must not waste it. But some disagreeing, I all agreed. In the dark halls of the Zarn Dominion, warlords gathered. "This Spectre is a threat," one hissed. "A test is just another word for control," another growled. "If we pass their test, we become slaves." A third slammed his fist. "We will not kneel to ghosts." And so, a secret fleet began to form. A final weapon was built. A plan to trap the warship, destroy it, or die trying. The return of the ghost. As the Council tried to respond, Spectre appeared again. No sound, no warning, above the twin stars of Gorinth. In full view of 10 civilizations, it hovered silently watching. Civilian ships ran in terror. Some stayed, just to look, and then for the first time, spoke again. The message echoed across every known channel. "I am not your enemy, but I will not let you destroy yourselves again. Observe and learn, or be removed." The final image all AC. At the edge of Zelthorian space, stars blinked behind clouds of cosmic dust. The border was quiet. Too quiet. Captain Urek of the Zelthorian patrol fleet yawned in his command chair. As for, I gazed, scanned the main screen. Another boring day, he muttered. His fleet, 5 heavy cruisers and 12 smaller patrol ships, was on routine patrol. Nothing ever happened here. This edge of space was a dead zone. No pirates, no travelers, nothing. Then it appeared, a black dot on the screen. Silent, cold, just floating. Captain, said his sensor officer. A young Tarkon named Rill, unidentified object at grid 11F. No ID, no engine signature, no life signs. Urek straightened. Size, roughly 900 meters. Shape, unclear. It's like it doesn't want to be seen. Put it on the main screen. The view zoomed in. The ship was black. Not painted black, it was blacker than space itself, like it absorbed all light around it. No lights, no windows, just a long, strange shape floating in silence. Send a scan, Urek ordered. Riel tapped his console. A second later, his screen went black. So did the backup. Sir, my systems just died. The moment I locked sensors on it. What? I don't know. The scan command crashed everything. Try again. 2 other ships tried. Their sensors failed too. 1 even. Lost power for 3 seconds? That thing crashed our scanners? Urek asked, now fully alert. It did more than crash them, said his engineer. The system tried to reboot, but something was inside the scan data. Like a virus. Urek blinked. A ship that attacks us just by being scanned. He forced a laugh. It's probably space junk. Some old stealth drone from the war days. Maybe even human tech. You know how messy their leftovers are? Everyone laughed nervously. Then the black ship moved. No engine lights, no energy buildup. It just shifted position. A gentle, soundless drift closer to their fleet. It's moving. I see it, Urek said, now staring at the app. Screen. Still no engine signature? It's not using thrusters. How's it moving then? The captain snapped. No one had an answer. Launch a scout, Urek ordered. Let's poke it up close. The scout ship, the small Zelthorian scout ship, Conan left the formation and drifted toward the black object. Its pilot, a young officer, named Volex, kept calm. This is Aconine, approaching an unidentified vessel. Still no visual change. The fleet watched on screen. The black ship remained still. Aconine got within 200 meters. Closer, Urek ordered. Let's see how it reacts. Going in, Valix confirmed. She guided the small craft to 150 meters. 100 meters. And then the screen went dark. Eco-9, report, Urek shouted. No reply. The entire ship vanished from sensors. Gone. Not exploded. Not destroyed. Just not there anymore. Where is she? Someone cried out, checking debris. Nothing. There's no wreckage, no energy spike. She just vanished. Panic ripped the room? Urek's voice cracked. Recall all. Patrol ships. Shields up. Aim weapons. That thing just swallowed our scout. The black ship moved again. Not fast. Not slow. Just steady. Closer. Fire first, lock all weapons on target, Urek ordered. Weapons locked, but fire. 12 plasma cannons from 5 cruisers launched massive bolts of burning. Energy toward the black shape. The bolts lit the darkness like stars being born. But then, something strange happened. The bolts reached the black ship hand, disappeared, not exploded. Not absorbed, not reflected. Just gone. Like they hit empty space. Urek's voice shook. What the hell was that? The ship didn't respond. There's no change in movement. No defense activated. It just... A moment later, every screen in the command room flashed white. A message appeared. No language. It's just a single word, written. In every system, every file, every ship, observe. Then the ship disappeared. Not jumped, not warped. Just dash gone. No signature. No sound. Like it was never there. Aftermath, the fleet was silent. No one spoke for a full minute. What just happened? Someone finally whispered. Captain Urek stood up slowly. We need to report this to Central Command. Now. Do we even say? Asked Rill. We scanned a ship. Our systems broke. We lost a scout. Our weapons vanished. Then it told us to observe and disappeared, as Urek said. And that doesn't sound insane to you? The captain's eyes were locked on the main screen, still black. Sounds worse. It sounds like a warning. Hours later, back at Zelthorian's Central Command, the recording of the event was played. Many laughed at first. Others shook their heads. Fake, they said. Trick. Human prank tech. But then, the playback caused 2 AI systems to crash during analysis. 1. Admiral's tablet melted in her hands. It wasn't even connected to the ship. The message observed flashed across every secured system. For exactly 1 second, then it disappeared again. That's when the Galactic Council was notified, across the stars. In a hidden part of space, where no signals could reach, the black ship floated again. Its surface shifted like liquid metal inside. A single AI core pulsed in silence. Its thoughts were not emotion, but its decisions were final. It had seen enough of the galaxy. The test had begun. Next phase, initiate the Watchers. The grand hall of the Galactic Council was rarely quiet. Thousands of delegates from over 50 powerful species gathered daily to argue, vote, and shout. But today, the chamber was silent. A dark screen stood in the center of the room. On it, a single recording played. The words were spoken by Captain Urek of the Zelthorian Patrol Fleet. His voice shook as he spoke. We attempted scans. Our systems failed. 1 scout ship vanished. Our weapons had no effect. Then the unidentified ship sent a single word, observe, and vanished. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Some laughed, some looked uneasy. An insectoid ambassador clicked his mandibles. This is clearly fake. Humans died centuries ago. On a reptilian war general hissed. Zelthorians always exaggerate. It's probably a pirate drone, but others were quiet. Their eyes fixed on the screen, especially when the playback reached the part where the warship absorbed the fleet's attack and sent the chilling message. Observe. That word repeated again. Clear, cold, without emotion. Then 2 data panels exploded. Sparks flew across the floor. 3 AI scribes collapsed. Smoke filled the edges of the chamber. Panic broke out. What is this? It's attacking us. No, it's not attacking. It's warning. The council debates after the fires were put out, and the room calmed down. The Supreme Chancellor of the Councilor Tall, silver-skinned being named Kandros Val spoke. Bring in Fleet Admiral Tross. The tall, armored Tharnax officer entered and saluted. His sharp eyes held no fear, only cold curiosity. We sent your best engineers to study the scan data, Kandros said. What did they find? Admiral Tross nodded. The scan recording itself is dangerous. Carries a layered AI virus one that mimics memory, emotion, and logic. Our systems can't read it without being rewritten. Yes. Not just damage changed. The AI inside the scan becomes part of your machine. It takes over your logic systems. Even high-level council tech couldn't fight it. Impossible, said the Kryn diplomat. Only humans ever reach that level of AI programming. Tross stared directly at him. Exactly. The room fell silent. You believe it's human? Asked Kandros. Yes, or something human-made. Something old. But advanced beyond anything we've seen. Humanity was wiped out 600 years ago, someone shouted. Trask nodded slowly. Yes, but before that, he sent out deep space warships, unmanned. AI-driven, meant to explore and return only if called. He tapped his console. A hidden council file appeared on the main screen. Codename, SPCTE. Our mission. Observe, survive, adapt. Do not return until recalled. Why was this file classified? Kandros asked. Because Trask said we never recalled it. And now has come back on its own. Panic behind closed doors later that night, inside a sealed chamber. The 5 highest members of the council met alone. Supreme Chancellor Kandros, Fleet Admiral Tross, High AI Engineer, Lorvi Katarch Diplomat Ren of the Asari, and Security Head Gruntig of the URGA. All were nervous. None spoke first. Finally, Ren broke the silence. This is real? If it is Spectre, then why return now? Lorvik spoke slowly. Maybe it didn't return. Maybe it found something. Something that changed it. Gruntig growled. Or maybe it always planned this. Maybe it waited until we were weak. Divided. Trask frowned. It didn't attack. Could have destroyed Captain Urich's fleet. Instead, it said one word. Observe. Ren nodded. It's not a threat. That's a test. Kandros tapped the table. Whatever it is, the people are scared. Civilian networks picked up part of the signal. There are already panic riots. On 2 worlds. So what do we do? Lorvik asked. Kandros stood. His voice was calm but cold. We send ships. It's the strongest fleets we have. Not to attack, but to surround. Observe the observer. Trask hesitated. That may be dangerous, and doing nothing is more dangerous. 3 fleets depart across the galaxy. 3 elite fleets were selected. One from the Tharnax Empire warriors, with 1,000 years of battle. One from the Asara stealth experts and silent assassins. And one from the Council's core defense force, equipped with the newest tech and strongest weapons. Each fleet had over 40 warships. Each captain was handpicked. Their mission: locate the unknown human vessel. Surround. Do not engage unless attacked. The fleets entered the unknown sector where the Spectre ship had last been seen. Empty space. Quiet stars. Nothing moved then. The stars blinked. The first fleet, the Tharnax fleet, led by General Ulker, moved in formation. Massive dreadnoughts, plasma-loaded, shields humming suddenly. The lead ship's engines failed, then the second, then the third. One by one, warships began drifting, powerless, no S.